All right. So let's take a look at game two now. Bowled 180 the first game. Gonna bowl. So hopefully something a little bit different here. I'm not going to spoil it, although I'm sure some of you have seen it already. But we're going to break it down. We're going to talk about the things that happened here in game two and see what we can do. It's going to be so loud. So we're trying to take a look here. So this is the game where I actually, oh yeah, by the way, subscribe, hit the like button for me as we break this down. This is the game I actually decide to switch to the harsh reality, which has a little bit of shine. And I went to that ball based off of what I saw on the fill. I was using a slow, dull ball that was giving me over under. It was either early or late. So I'm like, all right, well, let's just go to a slow bowling ball that's going to be smooth and rounded, but we know it's going to be late. Well, clearly it was late here. Couldn't get around, so I try to shut the angles down to get it in front of the head pin more, to control it just a little bit more. It did not seem to go very well, that first shot. So we 210, ball red, 3 feet too far down the lane. One more. I actually thought I made this at first through this. I'm like, ooh, it's got a chance. And it curved a little. Little curve meant, nope, not making it. Not even getting one. Throughout the game, I was watching Sean and Trevor both just get further and further left. Now, again, I did switch to the new thumb, so still taking me a few frames to get used to it, but because it is a different shape, it's a different shape thumb that gets off my hand cleaner. So getting the ball in the right direction is difficult. There's another one where I'm like, okay, seems to be okay, but it just two pins, never picked up. It's too smooth. At this point, I should have changed balls already, but I got a little stubborn for a minute. It's like, oh, I could make it do some different things and maybe up a little bit sooner, hopefully. Carlos over there waving goodbye to the black hammer. That one probably would have made the 210. Kuba to the right of me was bowling pretty good. And he was pretty deep, throwing it to the right. So I moved a little left, shut it down. And that's where I'm like, okay, now this is not good. This is not the right thing. Clearly, the slow balls are not the way to go. Got Trevor using a Widow 3.0, curving the lane a little bit. You got Sean Livery Spar using a Venom Shock, curving the lane a little bit, both quicker bowling balls than what I'm using. So it's like, okay, at some point, you got to do something different. But I'm still watching scores, and I'm like, watching their ball reaction, it seems too quick. It seems so quick. I'm like, I don't want to get into that yet. Like, it's just not time for that. I just need to make better shots. That was mainly the issue, was just making pure shots, making good quality shots. But we make the spare. We'll move forward. Move on to the next frame. Frame 4. Again, I'm just thinking, man, just make it a good shot for crying out loud. Just get it close. Same ball, finally threw in pretty good, and it overhooked again. It's like, okay, that's not the right ball. You see me shaking the head. It's like shaking my head. That's not the right ball. And I knew it, but I'm like, sometimes I get into these stubborn moments where I'm like, I can make this ball look better. I can make this ball do what it's supposed to do. You saw the two pin, and then I got it to hook early. Like, well, slowing down didn't help. That was not the right move. So I'm fairly certain this is where we switch to the Pride. the Dynasty. Yeah, this is the Pride Dynasty now. And I move a little left. So it's a little bit quicker ball. Still a slower end ball for me, but it's a little bit quicker. So I move a little bit left. Again, watching Sean and Trevor's bowling ball from further left. I moved left. That one was shut down, but it got there. Didn't get it to the spot further right that I wanted to, but it held its line, which is a good sign. So I'm like, all right, I got something to work with here. One that finally did something like the right thing. Get up on the right lane, and I'm fairly certain this one overhooks. Oh no, I missed it dead right. Yeah, I whiffed that one right. Wasn't even close, and it still hooked in 2-pin. So I'm like, okay, at least now we're getting to a little bit better ball reaction. As awful of a shot as that was, it still found a way to get up the hill in only 2.8. Whereas before I washed out with the Evoke, and I missed right on that first game, it washed out. So we're getting closer. We've got a little bit better ball reaction now. Good spare there. That's a tough spare when the lanes are a little bit more difficult. You see Trevor here. He's actually still straighter. He's actually straighter than Sean and I here. He's got a 4-bagger, but he's using that. It's technically a quicker ball with that widow, but he's getting it to respond nice and slow. His hand being up the back of it gets it to smooth out a little bit. Pride again, another decent shot over here, but trips a 4-pin. So I'm still in between ball reaction. I'm still like, is this quite right? Just a little bit of confusion here. Because then you watch Sean here. He's almost sliding left gutter already. Switch 7. That ball is just a little bit too far down the lane. Being a quicker ball. He probably, I'm not really sure how he was feeling, but probably was feeling like anything stronger was going to be too strong. Or earlier was going to be too early. I think this is the last shot I throw with this ball. Yeah, because I did jam it left. Awful. Just an awful shot. Didn't like it at all. So this is the one that made me switch balls. So then I threw one. And it still bailed down lane. It still didn't get up the hill. So I switched to the Eternity here. And I'm like, all right, we got to go to quicker because the slower balls are bogging down. I get them going up the lane and they overhook. Get them going to the right, they underhook. So I went to an Eternity that I actually had fresh surface on. I hit it with 2,000 before practice was over because I knew the lanes were going to be tight and I was going to end up needing a little surface on the ball. And that thing hooked a ton. I knew it was going to, but I'm like, all right, whatever, first shot. It wouldn't hook when it struck. So I made an adjustment here. First shot in the 10th. Had a chance to shoot 2-0 here. This shot. Pretty good shot. Now you can see the quickness of that ball. It's a slower ball with a quicker cover for me. Slower core. And it gets around the corner pretty good. So you saw me kind of like, yeah, that was actually okay. Good shape. And then I make another adjustment here. And boom. So then we start the next game with this ball. And we'll get into that in a minute. But so I shoot 184. Could have been better. Wasn't great. Very disappointed in the start, of course, because I don't know. Hold on, let me pause that. There we go. Got it. So not very happy with that start, but not seeing it properly, getting my feet under me as I got further left, my feet felt better. You could see that last shot there in the 10th felt a whole lot better, and it was much better. So now I start to get my feet under me just a little bit, and I do bowl a much better game the next game to get myself in contention. So because scores aren't high, it's like 20 over after 2. So and I'm now 30 under after 2. So yeah, I'm 50 back, but when the scores are lower like that, one decent game can get you right back in it. So that's game 2. Make sure to like, subscribe, stay tuned for game 3 coming up, and we'll break it down and we will show you how how things go for this event the rest of the way.